Magandang araw mga bata! Welcome to Teacher Marles channel kung saan maraming matututunan sa lesson na ating pag-aaralan. Our subject is Science 6 and I am Sir Mar. What is this picture tells about? The draft, cover, and hold on. Very good! It is an activity during an earthquake drill. Today, children, we are going to discuss about the precautionary measures before, during, and after an earthquake. Earthquakes and volcanic eruption cause destruction to properties, damage to the environment, and loss of life. But how can you keep yourself safe from these kinds of natural disasters? That's why today we are going to discuss all the precautionary measures before, after, and during an earthquake. So, what to do before an earthquake? So, we have the following activity on what to do before an earthquake. Number one is to hold fire and earthquake drills regularly. So this is a picture of an earthquake drill for us to be able to familiarize areas in our house and in school or in any establishment. It is necessary to conduct a fire and earthquake drills just in case of an emergency. Number two is to assess the structure of the house or building by identifying the potential source of hazards. For us to know the different areas in our house that may be a potential source of hazard in case of emergency. Next is to note the nearest accessible exit and find the place where extinguisher and first aid kits are located. So we also need to note or maybe familiarize ourselves with this necessary equipment in case of an emergency. Next is to develop a household emergency plan and emergency kit to cope with a disaster. So household emergency plan is one of the important things a family can do before an emergency happens because it will serve as a guide when communication is not possible. It is best to have a household emergency plan so we will be able to lessen the possible injuries might happen when an emergency occur. Always secure heavy objects, furnitures, or appliances to prevent them from falling or slipping. For our own safety, we have to always secure objects, furniture that might hurt us when an emergency happens. So this simple preparation will help us to be always ready and survive when an emergency like earthquakes and any natural disaster happens. Let us proceed with what to do during an earthquake. Keep calm when you feel the earthquake. Do not panic or rush to exit when you are in crowded places. Number two, avoid glass windows, shelves, cabinets, and other heavy objects when you are inside the building. Number three, perform the drop, cover, and hold on. Number four, if you are outdoors, move to an open area and stay away from trees, power lines, posts, and concrete structures. On the other hand, if you are inside the vehicle, ask the driver to stop in a safe place and stay inside the vehicle until the earthquake stops. Next is tsunamis might follow, so if you are near the shore and feel the earthquake, especially if it is too strong, move quickly to a higher grounds. Okay, so you already know what to do during an earthquake. Let us now proceed on what to do after an earthquake. Number one, let you check the member of your family. If someone is missing, seek help to find them. Number two, inspect the damage from the earthquake may cause fires to occur. Number three, Go to a safe place when the earthquake is over. Aftershocks are likely to follow. Next is to turn on the radio to keep updated and alert. And then, apply first aid in case there are injuries. And the last one is to stay away from damaged buildings and bridges. Okay, so you already know what to do before, during, and after an earthquake. How about if a volcanic earthquake occur? So we will study the precautionary measures before, during, and after a volcanic eruption. What to do before a volcanic eruption? Number 1, check and discuss the emergency preparedness plan for volcanic eruptions with your family. Next is to have an emergency supply kit contains a flashlight, battery-operated radio, non-perishable foods, bottled water, first aid materials, goggles, and gas mask. Next is to evacuate if necessary and always be prepared to leave your home, especially if you are within the kilometer radius mentioned. Connect yourself with updated news on the development of volcanic activities. And the last one is to know the alert level and follow warning instructions from the authorized authorities or government agencies. So these are the precautionary measures we can do before an earthquake. So now, let us now proceed with what to do during a volcanic eruption. So number 1, prevent yourself from returning to your home and stay in the evacuation area. Everyone advises to stay indoors and close all doors and windows to avoid ashes from getting inside. Next, remain calm and do not panic and always be alert. Food and water should be kept covered. Observe for possible lahar flow to stay away from river or stream. Next is to remind yourself or others to avoid driving vehicles because the ash may destroy engines. So keep vehicle engines up. Next is to make sure to protect yourselves during ashfall. Wear a long sleeve shirt and long pants. Use protection to your eyes and use a dust mask or hold a damp cloth over your face to help you breathe. Now, what to do after a volcanic eruption? So number 1, perform the sanitary and electrical inspection by checking if the drinking water is clear and the electrical wirings at home are intact and safe. Next is to remove ashfall or dust from roofs. Ashfall can cause roofs to collapse. Clear the vicinity, canals, and pathways of ashes, dust, and other debris. Avoid inhaling dust and ash if you have respiratory ailment like asthma. You should listen to authorized authorities and wait for them to give the official notice regarding the safety of going back to your houses. Okay, children, so I hope you learned something from our discussion. To be safe from this disaster, it is very important to carefully observe precautionary measures before, during, and after earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. In this way, it will reduce the destructive effects of these disasters and save many lives. And that's the end of our discussion for today. Thank you for watching. I am Sir Mar, and please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget also to click the bell button to keep updated to our next lesson.